We're now inside 4 weeks until Major League Baseball's trade deadline. That occurs on a little bit of a different time and date this year, August 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern, so 3 p.m. California time is the trade deadline across Major League Baseball. Brody Brazil with Dave Stewart here in our studio, and I'll be honest, this segment is interesting to do. It's informative to do. On a personal level, I feel attached to a lot of these guys over the last couple of years. I hate to do this segment, but as we see their names here, Stu, side by side, all on one screen, these are the players we think are probably most out there in terms of going somewhere on the Oakland A's. It's a compliment to be on this list because you're attractive, because of your stats, your personality, your contractual status, all of the above. These names right here are the most enticing for others. Is it fair to say that these are the players, Stu?
I don't see anybody else in that clubhouse or in that dugout that could make this list. Now, because these names are on this list doesn't mean that they're going to be traded.
Right.
First of all, make that very clear and apparent.
All right, so these are all the names that are on our radar. And again, there could and most likely will be others, but these are the main candidates right here. And again, a compliment to be on this list. Let's begin with the most obvious conversation of all, Frankie Montas, Stu. Not just one of the A's top pieces. This is a name that's going to be discussed across baseball as one of the hot commodities.
Well, there's no doubt about it. When you're talking about a guy who displayed exactly what he is. This guy, when he takes the mound, has no-hit type stuff every time he goes out there. Statistically, he's not what you would see attractive with a 3-8 on the win-loss side, but look at the 3.20 ERA.
Right.
You look at his innings pitched.
Strikeouts.
He's a guy that can take you deep into a game. This is a front-of-the-rotation type guy that if you bring him someplace else, you put him someplace else, he's going to be a totally different pitcher.
A playoff-bound team would love to have him, and maybe not even as their number one, but number 3 guy for a shortened playoff rotation. He's a perfect fit for that depth.
He's a front-of-the-rotation guy. He's not a 3. This guy is a 1 or 2. But if you put him up, for example, with the Mets or with the Yankees,
that's what I'm saying.
You know, even on those, he challenges your rotation. Bottom line is, he makes your rotation deeper, longer and deeper.
All right, let's keep it on the pitching theme here, and let's switch to Lou Trivino, Stu, who has obviously struggled over the course of the last couple of years. It does seem like, for the most part lately, he may be taking some steps forward, and I wonder, like, if Frankie's 99% sure to get traded, I don't know where the percentage is here on Lou Trivino, but I would imagine there are some eyeballs. There is some interest here.
Well, there's going to be interest because you can't get away from stuff.
Right.
In a bullpen, this guy is a perfect fit for any bullpen when it comes to stuff. He's 95 to 99 mile an hour stuff. He's got the other pitches that go with this stuff. And what's happening here with the A's, and we may have to open our eyes to this, is where he's pitching in the bullpen may not be the perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
This guy may not be a closer.
Right.
He may not be a setup guy.
Right.
But he could be that guy that pitches 6th, 7th inning and gets you to your setup guy and to your closer. That may be where he fits.
Strange as it sounds, a change of scenery might do Lou Trivino best. And again, I don't know the percentage of him likely getting dealt or not, but there certainly is something there. Let's go to the A's infield positions, I should say. Elvis, Andrus now, and then Sean Murphy in just a second. Stu, for Elvis, a known commodity, a veteran presence, and again, a team that's going to the playoffs. He could offer them a lot of different things.
You know, and he plays in the middle of the infield.
Right.
That's the key here for Elvis. He plays in the middle of the infield. He does a great job in the middle of the infield. This guy is still a guy that's capable of playing shortstop every day. Some guys play themselves out of shortstop, and you move them over to third base, or you move them over to second base.
Right.
This guy is still a shortstop. And the other piece of it, leadership.
Yeah, and understands what the playoffs are all about. We're now going to talk about Sean Murphy, Stu, which doesn't necessarily make sense contractually. He's got 3 more years of arbitration with the A's alone. So I think we're quite premature in this one.
I think that this is a big reach.
Right.
Murph does have his contract that the A's are controlling.
Right.
He's a controllable player. He's got arbitration, a lot of years of arbitration left. Once again, this is a guy that's hit in the middle of the lineup all year for them. Their faith and their confidence is in him. He's a piece that people will talk about because good catching is tough to find. This guy's a Gold Glove. He leads a staff. So there will be some conversation about him. I doubt that the A's will move him.
I don't want him to go from the heart either. I want a couple more good years of Sean Murphy, despite how stacked the A's are in their pipeline at the catching position. Let's talk about some outfield players here, and we begin with Chad Pinder. This one, Stu, hits home. Now, I know he's going to be a free agent starting next season. I'd hate to see him go, but I would understand why teams would value his versatility.
Well, from the general manager side of it, you're going to lose him in free agency.
Yeah.
And you are going to lose this guy. If he puts his name on the dotted line, he says, I'm going to test the market.
Yeah.
You will lose this guy. And the theory is
get something back.
Get something for him.
Yep.
And you're capable of getting something for him. This guy still has great value in the infield. He's never had an opportunity or chance to do it here in Oakland. He's not had the opportunity to play his natural position, shortstop.
Right.
But he has played around the infield. And I'll say this to anybody. If somebody calls me about Chad Pinder, I'm going to tell you what, you're a better team with him.
Yep. Totally
when he's
agree.
in that lineup.
This is Tony Kemp, similar player, versatile. He has one more year of arbitration.
And you got to look at what he is. I mean, when you look at Tony Kemp, people are going to look at him and say, what can he do for our team? This guy is an exciting player. He's an igniter. He's a guy that you put in the top of the lineup. He does things that help you win baseball games.
Yep.
So this is a name that could bring some interest to other teams out there.
All right, and let's end it with Laser Ramon. Now, he's got 2 more years of arbitration with the A's. We keep mentioning this, right? It's all about team control. That's why it does seem a little bit premature. But if I'm out there and I know the Laser's on the table and another team would be searching for a playoff piece, I would love to have him in the playoffs.
I mean, his name has already been mentioned, but Laser is a player that you have to get exactly what you want for him.
That's right.
Otherwise, you do have control.
That's right.
You've got player control, and when you've got player control, there's no need or necessity to move the player.
Right.
But his name has been mentioned in trades. He is the kind of player that brings just incredible
electricity.
To a team.
Yeah.
He is a player that if he's on your squad, you have a chance to do some great things. And so a team that's making a run with this kind of guy in your lineup who possesses power, let's not even talk about his defensive skills.
The arm,
but the power, the ability to hit at the top of the lineup. He's going to hit for average. And when I say average, he's not a 250 hitter. Laser's a 270, 280 type hitter when he's playing every day. And then you put the whole package together. He can help a team get over the top.
What am I going to do with the domain name laserramon.com if the A's were to trade him?
Hey.
I still own MattChapmanFanClub.com. By the way, we're talking trades. I mean, the A's have already gone through so much. This is a whole nother round potentially before the deadline. So there you have it.